Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Today is July 28th, 2024, and once again we find ourselves back at the 59th Street Bridge looking for Roy DeMeo's car. We dove yesterday. Anthony, our diver, is about to get into the river again for day 2. So Anthony, tell us real quick, because I know you got to get into the water. It's slack tide, it's fast approaching. What happened yesterday when you went down there?
Very low visibility. Took a little bit to find the car. Located the car. It's got a lot of new debris wrapped around it. Today we're going to be taking that debris off, trying to get down to the back of the car. There's a little bit of sediment built up around the car that wasn't there last year. That's normal for the river. Going to dig down and see if I can find
you're not going to see if you can find, you're going to find remains. Not that I'm trying to put you under pressure or anything. Find the fucking remains. We are. All right. Anthony's got to get back into the river. I just want to give you guys a fast update. Let's get diving. We're getting ready. Anthony, second day. How you feeling?
Dry.
Speak up. He's feeling dry? Is that what he said? He's feeling dry. We're positive about today, right? Day 2, Sunday. July 27th. Beautiful day here in New York. Temperatures must be about 80 degrees. Clear. We even got some spectators over here watching them go down. Okay, Anthony's gearing up. To you people that don't know nothing about divers, that's baby shampoo diluted with some water to help him slip into that, because his suit has to be airtight. And by the way, everybody, this man is taking his life, putting his life in peril going under there. There are so many cables and objects that can tie him up, and he would never be able to come up. So, and I'd be, so, you know, kudos to this man, because this is a very, very dangerous dive. You can only dive this river during slack tide, which is 2 45-minute periods during the day, this being one of them. It's now 9:28. and slack tide, which means the tide's not going in and the tide's not going out, and the water is stationary. Once the tide starts coming in or out, when he's under there, yesterday I saw him get dragged at least 200 feet. He was way down there. I'm saying, what's he doing there? He got dragged and he had to come back up. So it's a very vicious current, and say a prayer for him. God bless him. Okay, Anthony is now all suited up. It's now 9:31. And this is very, I mean, imagine having all this gear on and walking down this rock, and especially the wet rocks. They have that green slime on there. That's very, very slippery. Ask me how I know. Look at the first video. I was off my head. And trust me, everybody, you see that gear? How much does that gear weigh right there that you're putting on your back? He said about 80 pounds. Again, a look at the bridge. I love this bridge. I think it's so beautiful. Look at the backdrop here. And for a half a century, there's been a dead body right over here. And believe me, if I didn't tell this story, it would have stayed there for all eternity. he's got to like crawl in and become one with the river. It's very dangerous, everybody. I mean, he's in there now. Now 9:35. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Yesterday, when we were here, had a couple of drinks. I mingled with all the people here. New York has the greatest people in the world. And I've been away from it, living 25 years away from it. And boy, did I miss it. Yesterday, and I'm going to be talking about what happened after we went to dinner last night. Went to a party. I'm going to be talking about how great New Yorkers are. And this, you know what makes this city so great is its diversity. There's every type of person living here, and for the most part now, we're all getting along. Look at this process for him. A lot of people think you just throw the gear on and dive in the water. They can't because of all the obstructions down there. He's got to crawl from shore all the way out there. Now, when he's swimming out there, he's not swimming out there. He's on his hands and knees, crawling, and because you got to be like, the visibility yesterday was less than a foot. He definitely found it. He named the tire makes that are on the car, and he said it's still in relatively good condition for being under the water a half a century. And can you imagine how difficult it is for him? His mobility is extremely limited. Just putting these fins on, he can't see what he's doing. Look at all that gear. I'll tell you, don't tell him I said this. This guy's got effing fucking balls. He's got fucking balls. Oh, and the other thing, let me tell you this. When Nug was diving, the last time he came face to face with a crab, and so did he. Was it the same crab? I don't know. What's the life expectancy of a crab? Man, you know what? I don't think anybody's ever scuba dived in this. The water is just treacherous. As I said before, you only have a 45-minute time period per day. And one of them is in the afternoon, one of them is in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Who in the right mind would get into that water, which he's going to do later on today? We're going to have a second dive. I think it's at 3:30, which I'm going to miss because I'll be flying home. My plane leaves at 7 o'clock, but I got to get there a couple hours. I mean, I'm out of JFK. So I'm going to miss that, but he's going to have the video, and we're going to be transferring the video to me, and my new editor will be uploading it. There he goes, he's on his way now. Pretty soon you're going to be seeing him go under. Because I got to time this in case he has a problem. Even if he were to get hooked up on an object down there, by the time I called 911 and the police boat showed up, he'd be dead. So, I'm nervous. It's just me and him here now. There he goes. There he goes. He's down. Okay, he went underwater. 9:40. For a half a century, look how close how close that car is to the shore. Look at it. Everybody who's been partying at the park here for 50 years, not knowing that that is somebody's gravesite. Right there is somebody's gravesite, and it has been since 1974. And you know, I gotta give myself kudos that I remembered. I guess when an event like that, I was fucking traumatized. I drove that car at least 15 minutes, smelling a decomposing body until I hit the river. So the car was put in the river on the south side of the 59th Street Bridge, which is over there. It's not that, and it traveled all the way over here because I forgot to roll down the windows and I forgot to crack the doors. And most importantly of all, I forgot to turn off the headlights. So that's why all these years, when I came back, I stood right here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And this river, which is 17 feet deep, he's coming up now, is that him? The lights were still on. And I think I even put the high beams on. And I never forgot where that car was. Look how boats are coming and going. That's a ferry. Everybody's living their life. Have been traveling this waterway for a half a century while somebody was laid to rest in that watery grave 50 years ago. Look, even the duck. Hey, I bet you'd be surprised if you knew what was underneath that belly feathers of yours. Belly feathers? I can't believe I said that. But let's take a look. Hey, Doc, what do you think about what's going on? Hey, what happened? You can tell that duck is definitely from Brooklyn. It's got a Brooklyn attitude. Oh, shit. Here's a boat coming right at him. Now, they're supposed to, once they see that in there, I gotta wave to them right now. Hey! Oh, shit. He's going right at him. Unbelievable. Get over! Look at this. Is he gonna move? What is he gonna do? He's slowing down. Yo! There's a diver! Yo! Yo! There's a diver! Yo! There's a diver! There's a diver! A little suspense there. They have to be 50 feet from that. He didn't even hear me. What is it? You know how those damn rich people are. Damn rich people. But look how close he came. Can you imagine being underwater and seeing, and he said you could hear. See that big freaking thing coming? But I guess he did see it. Because now he's going more to the right again. I'll tell you, this shit is nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. I don't know if there's a lot of obstacles and garbage and cables and everything is under there. And if these guys get hooked up on there and they can't rid themselves. Yesterday he was telling me he was tied up, his back of his gear got hooked up to cables or whatever, and he had using his knife, he had to cut himself free. Okay, it looks like he's coming in now. He's swimming on top. I don't know what it looks like. What am I saying? They'll be in the comments saying, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, well, I'm not a diver, bro. Or you trolls out there. And by the way, when are you guys gonna show me a little love and a little respect and hit the fucking subscribe button? All these other fucking bullshit YouTube channels, they're not bringing you this. They're telling you stories about the rereading newspaper articles from fucking 50 years ago at the location where they have them, where it happened. Who gives a fuck? This is what everybody should give a fuck right here. This is an unbelievable, remarkable story, second to none in my life. He's been under the water now 45 minutes. The air supply in that tank is 1 hour. There he is now, he's coming up. He's right at the surface. And you know what's so odd about his equipment compared to the other guys is, the other guy's equipment, you could see the bubbles all over, like you see the bubbles now, but that's only because he's at the surface. But even when those guys were 17 feet underwater last year, it was my job to follow one of the two divers by way of the bubbles. But there's no bubbles this time, except for when he's right up close to the surface. And another thing, I think that the tide, the tide is in a neutral position, like I said, twice a day at certain times, and they can Google that. But now I think I see the tide going out now, starting to move. And maybe that's why he's so far off this way. Maybe the tide is actually moving a lot faster than we can see. Dive over at 10:25, and he's way over here, where all the gear is over there. So the tide probably moved him. Imagine if he came up with remains. This has got to be one of the most exciting events of my life. I'm telling you. Because let me tell you something. When I finally realized driving that car back in September 1974 on the Van Wyck, I literally, and this is not figuratively speaking, started to go like, what the hell am I tasting? And I put my hand to my mouth and blew the, do I have bad breath? I said, first thing that, what the fuck is that taste? And then I started smelling, and then I started turning to the right, and then I spun all the way around to the back seat, put my nose to the back seat, and that's where it was coming. I guess at highway speeds, once the, I closed the windows, the air vent coming in for the heater came through. I don't know, but all I know is I remember tasting that man's remains before I smelt them. And he went back under again. How much air does this guy got? And why is he all the way over here? What's that? What? It's the what? Oh, the springs from the car. You took it off. Bring that up. What's it? You got both springs? Okay, so from where? The rear end? Yeah, they'll pop out easy. So you see these springs right there? I drove those springs into this river 50 years ago. Okay, this is one of the springs. I'm gonna have to try to take this back. Here's the other one. What's left of it? Now these springs are much higher. Oh, they weigh nothing. But that's all that's left after 50 years. Well, that's all that's left after 50 years. Look how light this is. It's nothing.